Hey everyone, happy Good Friday. Reporting live from my car for WonderCon day one. Got a weekend pass to WonderCon, so we're just starting. Today is just going to be about getting a feel for just what the con has. I have a bunch of books that I'm submitting to CGC, and I'm dropping them off at WonderCon. So here is I have a stack of CGC books that I'm getting signed, like CGC in-house submissions, and I'm just doing a con drop-off. I'm going to figure out how to do that. I have a ton of books to do for that, but I want to figure out how CGC wants those books. So today, it's more about getting books signed at the con. Premium book is MARV WOLFMAN. So I'm just going to show you what books I have for MARV WOLFMAN. It's basically all the books I'll ever want from him signed. Then I'm on the hunt for two. So here we go. Okay, so car view. Here's the people that are at the con that I'm just CGC witnessed signings. So Brian Bucalato for The Flash Rebirth. Look at this cover. You want this loved. Francis Manipool. This is eventually coming for you too. Josie Campbell, new champion of Shazam #1. Doc Shaner was at this con last year, but that was before I read this book. So this book was freaking amazing. Love it. Love Doc's art. So this is going to be Doc and Josie. But Josie's here, and I want to talk to her about this because she's taking over the Shazam title. I wonder who you think this is for. Marv Wolfman found out he did the first Tim Drake. So freaking A, first Tim Drake. Literally, there's his name right there. Marv Wolfman. Gonna have him sign my first Tim Drake. First, Crisis on Infinite Earths. So this is on the bag, not the book. But boom. I want Marvel to sign this, of course. Absolutely, of course. Classic Death of Supergirl Crisis. I don't know what issue this is. 7. Crisis 7. Want him to sign that. Come on. You had to. Death of Barry Allen. Pick this up at Comic-Con. SDCC #8. So, yeah. Need this classic book. Marvel Wolfman again. Teen Titans. Tales of Teen Titans 44. First Nightwing, if you guys know, you know. Then this is actually a really good looking copy, so really excited to get this signed by him. Don't look at this one, okay? Jeremy Adams is going to be at the con. His Green Lantern run's amazing, so we're going to bring issue #1 for him to sign. Gail Simone is at the con, and this is the #1 issue I want signed by Gail Simone, but I don't think she's doing a signing today, so I have to try and find her, but I don't know where she is. And then #1, finally. Tales of Teen Titans #1. New Teen Titans #1. Marvel Wolfman, George Perez, 9.6. This is a solicitation. Sorry, my hand. This is a solicitation book because it is going to be, it's recently announced that it's going to be a movie. So I want this to be signed by the writer. I want this. This is one of my favorite covers of all time. One of my favorite teams in all of comics. So, hey, if not now, then when, right? So, $150 for the slab. Worth it. And then, yeah, so you see the rest. That is what we got going on today. Looking also for New Teen Titans #2, First Deathstroke, and the last Marv Wolfman book I'd want signed is, I think it's Daredevil 121. First Bullseye. He created Bullseye. So, literally, I'm just like, Marv Wolfman con. Not a huge lineup of, superstars at this one, but I love the lineup we have. So, here's the books I'm submitting. There you go. I'm inside the con. Huge shout out to Pop Culture Maven for hooking it up with the professional badge. You saw that. Really excited. First off, we're going to go see if Marv Wolfman is at his booth in Artist Alley. And then we're going to go see if we can get it signed. Just saw, you can't see him, but Metropolis Collectibles, one of my favorite, high luxury art retailers. I love conventions. Okay, here we go. Metropolis, go look them up. I can never in my life afford them, but they are cool. I just gotta go see if I can interview these guys at some point this weekend. Maybe should have done it today, but whatever. So it's 3:58. Marv Wolfman is not signing at his booth until 4:30. So we're going to see if we can, number one, find CGC. And number two is, let's see if we can buy those issues I was looking for today. And we'll also double check how long he's signing for. But I love that guy. On my way back from the Marv Wolfman signing, what did I run into? $180 for this copy. It looks all right, nothing crazy, no major corner. It looks like a press would really do this book well. Price was $180. I said, that's a very reasonable price. So you know what I said? Would you do $160? Very reasonable counter. And here we are, $160. It happens that quick, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's going to be hard to find the bullseye, but I have faith. Good morning. Happy Saturday, WonderCon Saturday. I didn't record the second half of yesterday very well because I was just kind of moseying around figuring out like what books I'm buying, how to get deals, how to get Marv Wolfman to sign them, because today is going to be the busy day. It is, but I wanted to go over with you guys before I got to the con what, those are all comic books, by the way. This is my life. I just want to go over what books that I have for CGC in-house submissions, because you can do con drop-off. And I was talking to a lot of the CGC guys and just going over like how that works. These are books I've already paid for, and I just want to show you what I'm going to be dropping off for CGC. So here we go. This is my coffee table. Okay, so first book is, I ordered a remark from Frank Miller, so I got to window this bag. I don't buy window bags because, come on, that's stupid. Blank Daredevil for Frank Miller Daredevil remark, because who would not want a Daredevil by Frank Miller, but I can't afford the head sketch. Coming off the tail of that is the Chip Zdarsky Daredevil remark. So I'm going to window that up and give that. They have like crazy signings right now. Jorge Jimenez Batman remark on the first appearance of Ghostmaker, who I don't know if he's going to come around anymore, but I can tell you guys I friggin' love Ghostmaker. So there we go. Okay. I don't think I'm going to go through this one. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. Wonder Woman 750 blank variant for Terry and Rachel Dodson signing, but I don't know. Okay, now here are the graded books. So this one's a maybe. And that's my need to read comic book pile. So Pat Gleason on my Superman #1 signed already by Peter J. Tomasi. So hopefully Pat Gleason does something over here. That'd be very cool. Or like, I don't mind if he dips in around here. But John Kent, Superboy remark. Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez signature ×2. I bought this. This is a Dynamic Forces slab, so it's a 9.8 already. So hopefully they're going to both sign it. I'd sign for the dual signature. So there we go. Marco Cicchetto already signed my Daredevil #1, so Chip Zdarsky signature, and then I'll have the first issue of their run together signed in the slab. This one's actually really cool, really important to me. Doug Mahnke. I want to get a Batman remark on here on a Doug Mahnke. And they said, okay, a funny thing about Pat Gleason and Doug Mahnke is they said no blank covers. No blank cover remarks, which is very cool of them. So it's like, because the thing is, if I want to give them a blank cover if they don't do, if they're not doing color. These guys, I think, do color background remarks, which is so cool. So Doug Mahnke, who's like literally one of my favorite Batman artists, I think one of my favorite, if not my favorite, I don't know, top five, but he draws such a cool freaking Batman. And this little arc is so good. It's called Batman Mythology. First arc of Tomasi's run with Mahnke on Detective Comics. Amazing. It's just literally the 5 issues leading up to 1000. Great little series, like underrated. Look at it. And this cover is Bruce being dragged down by his parents. That is so cool. And it's just good, and it's underrated, and nobody talks about it. And like, it's so good. So yes, I'd Tomasi signed this. I want Monkey to sign right here. And lastly, or Remark. This is a Monkey Remark. Okay, Pac Leeson, I want him to do a Damien on here. Because basically Super Sons, basically also because those are the two, like Pac Leeson's Take on Robin is my Take on Robin. Peter J. Tomasi's also Take on Robin. But yeah, I want a Robin, Damian Wayne Remark on this book. And yeah, so here are the two books I want them to sign a Remark. So very cool, very cool. Okay, so for context, the first thing I did, I grabbed my tape gun and I taped the cover of the book. Basically a big old square. You can't see it because it's packing tape. Does that help at all? And I'll show you. I cut right here. There's just a little square right here, but some guys use blue tape. Does that make it clearer? No. You can kind of see the ripples. The bats don't help. But I made it right here. And then I'm going to take out the comic book, obviously, and then use an X-Acto knife to cut these edges. Okay, so here's what the final product looks like. You can see it a little better now with the edge. But yeah, so I made my own window bag. This one is not, this is not for a CGC in-house signing. I'm just doing a stack, that stack right there. It's not for a CGC in-house signing. It's for, this is WonderCon. So instead of doing the whole thing of taking your comic out of the bag, blah, 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 doing the whole thing, I'm going to put it in here. I have a window bag, and I use 2 bags and boards for this. So one bag is for the window bag. I use 2 boards because I keep in the board that I cut, which is the back one. So it's super strong. And then I'm going to use the other bag and board. So the 2 boards, first bag. Second bag is just going to go over it. And then I always keep them in these top loaders. Because I just hate, like, I carry them pretty loose leaf in my backpack. And some people do a box, but when the box gets empty, because whatever, you've submitted books or da-da-da, you're just kind of carrying around the stuff. So I'm not going to do that. Anyways, here we go. That is the status of that. And now I'm going to do it for the rest of the books in my stack. And here's more books, just for the record. Like, I've taped up all my books, and now we're going to go. I'll show you the difference between these and the regular CGC in-house submission signings. So there we go. Okay, so funny enough, this bag and board was too big for the other ones. So guess what we did is I just put it in the window like this. I'm gonna pull it out. I don't think we need to overthink the cover of this book. I don't think it needs to be impenetrable. So there we go. But final of this one is gonna look like this. So it is bagged and boarded, and then bagged again. So all I'm going to do is put it in the top loader now. Boom. It has like 3 levels of protection because I'm that much of a stickler about them. But yeah, so that's it. And you can kind of see the window. Yeah, you can see the window like that when I do that. But yeah. So then I'll just take it out of here and have Josh or Jeremy Adams sign it. There we go. On my way to the con, stopped at Whole Foods just because vlogger lifestyle of a day in the life of a con, of WonderCon. Breakfast sandwich, $5. I'm like, I need something. The biggest water for the cheapest price. And some cookies because we're happy con day. So on my way to WonderCon, Gail Simone signing at 11:30. So it's 10 right now. I take my time. I'm like, I'm tired. It's the weekend, and I was tired from yesterday, so here we go. Well rested. I got a coffee too, but that's from home. So here we go. WonderCon day 2. Walking to the con in the rain, and I was just rethinking my life because I'm gonna spend all this money today on expensive paper, and I'm gonna walk in the rain to do it. So that's how it's going. This is where I live, right here, CGC booth, every day. Wow, I'm a celebrity.
Are you a celebrity?
She knew my name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go. I feel really important. So you gonna be doing more work with Ron Mars?
Hopefully. You never know. I mean,
I love that you guys are doing the rebirth stuff.
Oh, thanks. Does Don have the anchor on it?
Oh, awesome. No way. Nice to meet you. I love the Silver Surfer, Adam Warlock, Rebirth stuff.
Oh, cool.
It's fun. And I like Ron Mars was on Twitter, and he was talking about how people are really critical about whether or not where in place in continuity it takes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are the worst. Like, this is just good fun, like popcorn comics. Like, let me unwind and read my books.
Yeah. Enjoy it, man.
Yeah. What character do you get to sketch the most?
Is it either Thanos or Surfer?
Yeah. Because you were on those titles for a long time. Because you had multiple writers too, right?
Yeah. I thought on 50. I did almost 6 years on it.
Oh my gosh, you had Starman. And then what about X-Men 2099? That's gonna make it a comeback.
Yeah, I know, which is weird.
That's gonna make a comeback?
I think they're doing an omnibus, right?
Yeah, they just if it isn't released.
They come out yet?
I thought it did.
Oh, okay. I don't
But
know.
you should have gotten comps at least. I sure
No.
hope so. Sure hope so. Yeah. Dang, yeah.
I hope so too.
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous.
Oh, thanks.
Were you always drawn to Marvel Cosmic, or is that where they assigned you?
Oh no, I actually tried out for Surfer.
Oh, no way.
Because I was doing Sci-Force for Marvel, and then they said, "Oh, Marshall Rogers leaving the book." And my editor told me this, right? I was like, "May I try out, please?" And he's like, "If you must." I was like, "All right." So I just tried it just for the heck of it, right?
Yeah.
And then like a week or two later, he's like, "Guess you got the job." Wait, what?
Oh my gosh,
So,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
So Sci-Force and straight from Sci-Force to this. It's like a dream, man.
It's so cool.
Oh, you found it?
I've officially gone broke. Spent after this issue, and I got it with all my CGC submissions. I got a lot of books to sell, but I got my hands on it, ladies and gentlemen. Daredevil 131. Thank you. I just got a compliment on it. 131. That is not what I paid. Really important detail. So there we go. So now I gotta go find out where Marv Wolfman is. And, well, I know where he is. I'm gonna go find out where he is, and then I'm gonna go get his book signed. Now here's the traffic count. Okay, now I'm post-up sitting because I'm tired. So here we go for the Marv Wolfman books that are all the books that I've submitted. Okay, here we go. Bullseye number 1, or first Bullseye. Infinity, what is that? Remark by Ron Lim. And Batgirl, number 1. GAIL Simone signed. Then all my Wolfman books and other books from yesterday. There we go. Alright, here we go. Final CGC, all bagged, all entered in the computer. Oh, nice! Congrats! Got a golden egg winner right there. Look at all that.
Oh, they're doing like a little egg hunt. Why do you look promoted? No. CGC. I just hang around. I've met you somewhere. Yeah, we've seen you somewhere. Yeah, last year, San Diego. That's where it was.
There you go. Day 2 of WonderCon done. I'm back in my car. Halted a little bit early. Really haven't gotten any panels, so hopefully that goes down tomorrow. My feet are tired, but it was a good day. I had a good time. Yeah. All my books, all the books I wanted to submit for this Colin, I submitted today. Which, I don't know if that's wise, because it's Saturday, so they're so busy, but, you know, it's done. I'm glad it happened. Spent a lot of money doing that, but that's okay. It's It's important for the collection. Alrighty, well, then, no. Talk to you guys later. I'll report back tomorrow. And a happy Easter to everyone. Welcome to day 3 of WonderCon. Waiting for my Uber. I always wait. I always park a little far and Uber in because it's cheaper than paying for parking. Really excited for today. Gonna see. I'm actually meeting up with my buddy Kyle, who you guys know, and submitting my final CGC books for what's it called, for CGC, for the signing, in-house signing. So yeah, really excited. Yeah, last day at WonderCon, a little tired, but just had Easter breakfast, so I'm starting a little later than I usually do, but that's okay. Here's me and Kyle at the con. They're really close up. He has a baby.
I do. I ditched her.
I do a try.
I love Comic Madness.
Shatter. I would just shatter on the table.
Kyle, buy the Scotty Young variant.
I don't know that one.
Buy that Scotty Young variant.
Alright, I'll grab them all.
Wait, did you get Avengers Twilight? Yes, I gave it to you. Okay. Kyle likes that. What do you see? Okay. Kyle and I are just walking the con. Kyle, buy some trades, man. Just do it.
Have this. Have this. Have this. Have this.
You have the new art, or is this the OG?
This one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, these are all last copies.
Kyle is a burger.
Never seen it.
No, really? Okay. I just gotta get a bunch of B-roll like this. Walking the con.
Just be patient on eBay.
At CGC with Kyle. Big shout out to Judd. Great work. Oh my gosh, all these submissions, raw books, everything. Looking forward to it. And that is a wrap on WonderCon. Not much to report on Sunday. It was more about networking, talk to some creators. Hopefully gonna get some people on the podcast soon. Podcast YouTube. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It was a good con overall. Very low key. Questionable about coming back to a con on Easter Sunday, but that's, you live and you learn. It was good. Big shout out to the CGC crew. Love that they are there for us and, you know, giving up their Easter, even though they're getting paid, even though whatever. It's not fun. It's not fun. So thankful to them. Submitted all my books. Gonna sell everything I own just to be able to pay for all of them, but overall good weekend. It was worth it, and I think that's the most important part. I will come back with a follow-up video for all of my WonderCon CGC submission unboxings, so looking forward to that. Anyways, talk to you guys later. Hi, I'm Cameron, and I don't just read comics, I love them. And on today's episode of Cameron Reads Comics, I'm recapping WonderCon. So I'm back home after WonderCon. Probably about a week or so after the events of the convention. So, and I just want to recap what I acquired. I got a stack of stuff here that you can probably already see of what I got at WonderCon. Here's a recap of all of it. The first stuff I got from WonderCon was a Jack Kirby Museum t-shirt. I freaking love it. Obviously, if you've been following my channel for a long time, you know that I'm a huge Jack Kirby fan. And so I got a big old Jack Kirby t-shirt. I believe he did the art. It looks designed to be Kirby-esque. So, yeah, that was the first thing I got, was a Jack Kirby t-shirt. Super special, super awesome. Next up, Catwoman Dangerous Liaisons #1. I believe this is, volume 1, which is the first volume of Teenie Howard's Catwoman run. Teenie Howard was at the convention. Seems like a freaking awesome personality. I got to talk to her briefly about Batman Gotham War, which was a really good event that I read. And so I started talking to her just about what's going on. How does she like writing the events? And then, you know, when you talk to someone at a convention like this, you want to talk to them about what they're working on. It's just for me, especially as a someone who's trying to build a channel or a following, it's a great opportunity to network to creators. And so that's what I did with Teeny Howard, is I just talked to her and I wanted to network. I also just got to talk to her about like, what's it like writing an event book? What creative decisions went into making that event? Because of the recency, how's that going to affect Catwoman? How much editorial was going in? So yeah, I when I talked to her for that long, I asked her to be on the channel. TBD if that's going to happen. But I got a Catwoman book. So I was like, hey, I want to buy your book so you get the money directly. It's also all about giving money to the creators. Next up, actually the next 3 things I bought at the convention, but you don't get to see. The first being a book that I didn't plan on getting. I went into that convention with an idea of books that I was on the hunt for based on MARV WOLFMAN's attendance. That was really it. And some of these purchases are informed by that and some aren't. The number one book I realized I would ever want MARV WOLFMAN to sign is Daredevil 131. If you know that book, you're familiar with it. It is the first appearance of Bullseye. So luckily, that was probably my biggest score of the entire convention. I went through MARV WOLFMAN's legacy and notable titles that he was on, or really just characters that he created. There's some low-hanging fruit there that we know. Anti-Monitor, Black Cat, the new Teen Titans for the most part, that team itself, Deathstroke. But the list, when you look at the list in its entirety, he is such a famous creator that created so much of what we know. And so the 2 books that I didn't have there, I kind of went in my brain. I was like, okay, if this is my only time to ever meet MARV WOLFMAN, because he is getting older, what are the books that I want him to sign? Well, I want the first appearance of Bullseye. That's like a bucket list, my favorite villain. I want that, and I want another book that's coming up next. But I submitted for CGC Daredevil 131, the first Bullseye. I eventually found it. You guys know that. And then the next book I found and submitted was New Teen Titans number 2, which, if you know, is the first appearance of Deathstroke. Slade Wilson. I got that one for under $200. I believe I negotiated down to $150. New Teen Titans number 2, signed by MARV WOLFMAN, on its way out. Next one is another book. When I found out this creator was going to be there, I had to get it, and that is Ron Lim. I got Infinity number 1 sketch variant to get a Silver Surfer remark by Ron Lim. All 3 of those books are out at CGC right now. The rest are here with me, and yeah, so I'm excited to get those books back and see what grades they come out to be, but just see them slabbed. The next thing I got was Miracle Man number 1. This is not a great copy. I got this in a bundle with a bunch of other books. So if you guys know, this is Gary Leach and Alan Moore's, in my opinion, their take on Shazam or Captain Marvel. It's a really great dissection. Alan Moore pre-Watchmen story. OG Alan Moore comics. I think Alan Moore he's perfectly rated, and he's also underrated in the comic book community. I think if you're an Alan Moore fan, I get it, why you wouldn't love him. I'm not a huge Watchmen guy, I think, as I get older, but when it comes to stuff like this, I'm like, oh, this is kind of like, I want to read his other stuff, V for Vendetta and Watchmen, those are cool and great and dandy, but his Superman stuff, I love. This story is closer to my heart in what Alan Moore is bringing to the table. So, Miracle Man number 1, Alan Moore classic. It's a little torn up, a little muggy, but I'm glad I have this book at all. Super famous cover. The next 2 I'm actually very, very, very excited for, and they are 2 Walt Simonson Thor books. It is 338 and 339. The second and third appearance of Beta Ray Bill, who I love, one of my favorite Thor characters. And also, these are low-key spec books, But the other one is the first Stormbreaker, which is obviously in the MCU, important book. But all these are just classic, like beginning of Walt Simonson Thor runs, and I freaking love that run. I love what it stands for. I love who Beta Ray Bill is. Conceptually, I just think it's so creative and such a great generation that informs so much of what Thor is going through right now. So yeah, I had to get this book. I'm really excited about it. How do you get both these? So literally, okay, all the books you're seeing right now, except for the next one, I got in a bundle. So I'll show you. And I'll tell you the price I got them all for, because they were kind of a smoking hot deal. Also, in my opinion, buy your key books raw. It's just so much cheaper. And these days, really all I'm submitting are... I don't submit for Blue Label for the most part. It's like, unless I have a couple books, I probably will eventually. But for the most part, I'm spending all my money for Yellow Label. Get my book signed while I still can, you know? That's how I think about it. This book I bought for $20. New Mutants number 21. So, fun fact, I don't read New Mutants. I haven't read it. But this is one of my favorite covers of all time. It is a classic Bill Sienkiewicz cover. And my favorite part is Sunspot on this cover. I don't know why I'm just so drawn to Sunspot. Bill Sienkiewicz was randomly at the con, WonderCon, for one day only for a signing at a random booth. CGC didn't even know about it. So, yeah. It was pretty wild and shocking, and so when I found out he was going to be there, like while his signing was going on, I bought this book thinking that he might be around more. He wasn't. He was there for 1 hour on Saturday for a signing at Golden Apple, or Graham Cracker Museum. Graham Cracker Foundation, there's a charitable foundation. Yeah, I bought this book. I didn't see him, but next time I see him, he's around. No, he's doing signings. I'll try and get this signed because I just love this book. I love this cover. I love... kind of everything this book stands for. I don't know. I need to read it, though. That's silly of me. But, you know, this is why we buy comics. Okay, this next one also wasn't in the bundle. I got Daredevil 158, a beat up copy. And when I say beat up, I just mean absolutely tore up from the floor up. It is just spine creases and both staples have hold. This is a heavily reader copy. Everything but the cover's detached, and yeah, it's holding on by one staple. It's just but if you know the significance of this issue, it is the first Frank Miller on Daredevil title proper. He didn't even write this story. This is the first Frank Miller on Daredevil, but Roger McKenzie famously wrote the story. I always tell people when they want to read this arc to start at Daredevil. I believe it's 168, which is the first Elektra. I think that's the best book in the whole run. But yeah, so I highly recommend. I bought this for $20. I don't know if I overpaid. I'm glad I have it. I don't know if I need it graded or signed by Frank Miller or anything, but it's the first Frank Miller on Daredevil. That's my favorite run of comics of all time, so I'll go back and forth on if I need this book or not. So I own it now. $20. Next up is a book I've been looking for a long time. Black Adam number 1. This is the miniseries written by Peter J. Tomasi with art by Doug Mahnke. One of my favorite miniseries of all time. I think it's so underrated. I thought the Black Adam movie, they said that it was inspired by this, but they did not pull from it really at all. If it was my call, I would have made the villain of this story, Felix Faust, the villain of the Black Adam movie, because I thought that would have made a lot more sense. But yeah, just one of my favorite miniseries of all time. It's a tie-in and kind of ramifications after 52 and Countdown. It was perfect. And I think it's so underrated. I don't think people are talking about it. I think it shows the greatest strength of Black Adam and the strength of Peter J. Tomasi and Doug Mahnke. Everyone's firing on all cylinders for this book, and it's perfect. So yeah, I love it. And I got it for $20, which I think I overpaid for personally, but I wanted it. And this is sold by L. Veens Comics, who is one of my favorite comic retailers. I try and buy something from him at every WonderCon because I've gotten great deals from him in the past. And so I'm glad to have this now and have given him my money. He's a great guy. Follow his channel. He's amazing. Next up is Infinity Gauntlet number 4. this is also $20. Elvine had a $20 comic book wall, and so I saw this up there, and I was like, okay, well, I've always wanted this cover, and I didn't give it a good look before I bought it. There's no spine ticks, nothing crazy except for there's a huge crease, like literally just this was folded across the title block. Wasn't stoked on that, but it's whatever. I got it, and it says it's the fairy. I only want 2 covers from Infinity Gauntlet, which are this cover and number 1, and I have both. So if Jim Starlin ever does a signing, I'll probably get this signed. But yeah, it's not a great copy of this book, but whatever. I'm okay with it. I like it, and I've always wanted it. And whatever. If I don't like it, I find a better deal, I'll sell it. No big deal. Sell it, trade it, whatever. Now, the next 2 are 2 keys I've also been looking for, one more than the other, but last book was a deal I just could not pass up. First one, also part of that set, Moon Knight #1 by Warren Ellis and Declan Shelby. Super famous Moon Knight run. If you're a fan, I've read this. This is amazing. The art's amazing. Classic Warren Ellis. It's a near mint copy, and it looks really, really good. So yeah, I finally got this book. Love to get signed. I'd love to get Declan Shelby to do a remark on it. I think it'd be gorgeous. But yeah, really excited about this Moon Knight book. Got this as a part of that lot as well. Great deal, great deal. And then the last book I got from WonderCon, X-Men, Uncanny X-Men #131, First Emma Frost. Missing a staple is the verdict on this book, but otherwise, Emma Frost, White Queen, great freaking book. So just for context, I saw this and I was like, oh, I need to buy that. It's a good deal. I don't know if I'll ever own this book again. If I'm not a huge X-Men guy, so a raw key for this. Okay, so wait, let me make a list. There's that, Moon Knight. Okay. Moon Knight, I got a text. Okay, so here is a big old lump sum that I got from this set. So I got Miracle Man #1, Thor 339, Thor 338, Moon Knight #1, and Uncanny X-Men #131. All those books, one retailer for $100. So I kind of scored. I can sell these if I need to. I might end up selling them to downsize my collection, but I'm gonna keep the Moon Knight. I'm gonna keep the Thors. So yeah, those were the scores that I got. I spent a lot of money at this con. I always do, but I sold a lot of books last month just to be able to afford the con and whatever I wanted to go to submit. Remember, I'm Cameron. I don't just read comics. I love them. Thank you for watching this video of Cameron Reads Comics. I'll see you guys next time.